Doesn't matter where you are today. Okay, it doesn't matter the current level of income you have. It doesn't matter, your results. What this information has the potential to do for you guys is astronomical, right? But there's a few things that you have to do to kind of ensure success, right? There's a science to getting rich, right? Success is predictable. So what Nano and I are going to do is just share the information, some experiences on how this information has improved the results in our life. So in preparing for this call, I took a lot of notes. I have some books here. I was writing a lot of notes yesterday, really seeing like what information is going to help the people the most, right? Are we going to kind of go over the basics and just say, this is the foundation that everybody needs to operate with? Or are we going to kind of push the envelope a little bit? Are we going to kind of tap into some new ideas, share some new things? And we're going to go with B. We're going to go with the second option. Why? So the first thing that I wrote down is access to information. Access to information. What I mean by that is if you have, let's say it's your current level of paradigm, it's your current way of thinking. You take certain actions, you get certain results. And what you do is you look at your results and you see your results. And it makes you feel a certain way. And what you end up doing is taking more action of the same caliber. You get similar results of the same caliber, and you look at those results again. You take the same action, you get the same results. And it's a continuous circle of staying where you are. That's how 95% of people live. 95% of people, they live in this circle of their current way of thinking, their current paradigm, their current level of results. The question is, how do you change? How do you get out of where you're currently at and get to that next level? And from my personal experiences, guys, it is access to information. You need new information to think from. You need new books to be reading. You need new mentors to be observing and following and learning from. That is really, really the difference. Once you get access to new information, your mind expands. Right? KT talks about your radar screen, and we only see what is on our current radar screen. So what we have to do is expand our mind. We need new experiences, new information, and mentors are the best way to do this. So if you guys don't know, I just got back from a Europe tour for a full month, 11 different countries. It was absolutely an amazing experience. However, we were faced with a lot of adversity. We were faced with a lot of difficulties, a lot of delays, a lot of real world situations that we had to work through, that we had to use the information and apply in real world situations. So what I want you guys to also write down and kind of think about as well is the balance between learning and applying. Learning and applying. You're on these calls, you're learning. You're learning the information, you may be reading some books, you may have a good morning routine, but don't forget the application. Don't forget going out in your day, meeting people, talking to people, applying the information and getting the feedback. So here's something that Bob taught me, and I'm going to say this twice because it's a very good idea. Learning is when you entertain an idea, you get emotionally involved with the idea, you step out and act on the idea, and you change the end result. It's the feedback from the changed result that constitute as learning. So one more time. Learning is when you entertain an idea. We're getting a new idea now. You get emotionally involved with the idea. You say, I'm going to change. I'm going to do this new idea. Step 3 is you go out and you act on the idea. You apply it. And you change the end result. But learning is the feedback from the changed result, which means you have to take action. You have to apply it and say, wow, I took this action, I got this result. Is this what I want? Yes or no? Does this make me feel good? Yes or no? If it makes you feel good, you continue. If it makes you feel bad, you change your actions. So learning is the feedback from applied action. You have to apply this information. Yes, you have to learn it. Yes, you have to master the basics. But guys, I was just in Europe and applying this information in real world situations, whether it be on the plane, in the cars, in the hotel, dealing with certain leaders, in certain meetings, whatever the case may be. The information showed up every single time in these situations. So don't get too caught up in just learning. I got to read every day. I got to keep watching, keep learning, keep learning. Yes, that's important, but you also have to apply it. So again, I have a lot of notes here. I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit, and if you have any questions, type it in the chat. At the end of this, we're going to do a little Q&A between Nano and I and answer some of your guys' questions as well. So again, access to information, expand your radar screen. Once the mind expands, it cannot go back. Once your current way of thinking has reached a new level, you can't go back. And again, I was very fortunate at 19 years old to work with Bob Proctor for about 4 years. Now, he introduced me to high-level businessmen and women, entrepreneurs. Now, when I say high level, I'm talking 10 million and above per year. And what I was able to do for 4 years is observe these type of individuals. I get to see how they operate, listen to how they talk, how they do deals, and things like that. So you really, really have to expand your network and get around new information, observe high-level, high-performing people. And I was able to do this in Europe. You know, I was out there with a very successful businessman, and I was able to listen to the conversations. I was able to observe how he interacted with certain people, and I'm always taking notes. I am always observing, I am always seeing what's going on, and I'm always taking notes. So when you get around somebody at a very, very high level, access to information is very, very powerful. Knowledge will change your situation. So I'm going to continue with this idea because it is very, very important. What I was able to do also was observe commonalities. You pick from here, you pick from there, you observe a whole bunch of different people, and you find certain things. Thank you, Nano, for your message. You find certain things that are commonalities. And I have found a lot of commonalities behind these high-level performers, but it only happened because of my association with them, because proximity to them, through observing them. So my challenge for you guys is to really elevate. Get out of your comfort zone. You know, I drive 20 minutes a day to, a very, very good gym every day. I do that for association. I do that to meet new people that operate at a high level, that, they go to a very, very good gym. So there's a gym 2 minutes away. I could very easily go to the Equinox, way cheaper, way closer, way more convenient. Why do I drive to South Beach every day? Proximity is power. I want to meet these people. I want to rub shoulders with these people. I want to have conversations with these people. You have to continually put yourself in those positions to expand your mind. So very, very important. You need new information to think from, and get around mentors, get around people with better results than you, and observe them. Ask them questions. That's really, really going to elevate you to the next level. Part 2. Once you get access to information, once you've been on these calls for a while, once you have a mentor that you're learning from and observing, and you're like, okay, this information can change my life. This information can improve my results. Part 2 is the consistency to apply the information. Meaning when Nano says, read and write your goals one time or a few times every single day, you got to have the discipline to do it. When Nano says you need to visualize the future self, you have to apply it and do that. When he says meditate, calm your mind, and really tap into your higher self, do you have the consistency to be doing that every single day? Remember, it takes 28 days to change a habit or to implement a new habit. So it is the consistent effort over a long period of time that's really going to change your results. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 1 week. It's going to happen in a month, 2 months, 3 months of consistent effort until you really reprogram your mind appropriately. So the importance of consistency, the importance of discipline. You get access to the information, that's great. Are you disciplined enough to apply it to change the result? Two authors that I have been studying from recently, because I study Neville. I've been studying Neville for about 6 or 7 years now. But I'm like, who does Neville study? Who does Neville, and we kept going up this chain of like, where does this information really come from? Who's, the pioneers of this? Who's really originating these ideas? And there's a bunch of different people that are very, very well spoken on this information, but two people that I have been focused on recently, Thomas Troward and Genevieve Barant. Now, Genevieve Barant wrote the book, Your Invisible Power. This book I've been reading quite religiously lately. It's on my phone is where I've been reading it. And it talks about the imagination. Your invisible power is your imagination. This is what allows you to create the future, create new results, create a new image for your life. So when I meditate, 1 time a day minimum, you quiet the mind, you quiet the mental chatter, and you use the imagination to recreate the new future. You create the life that you want to live. So I really, really recommend you guys get into this. Study the imagination, study the higher faculties. Because again, if you do not change what you're currently thinking, how you're currently visualizing, nothing's going to change. You're going to continue to get the same results over and over again. What else? Seasons in life of learning and applying, right? So what I wrote down is I was been learning for so long. Learning, reading, watching, asking, observing for so long, then you have to go apply it. Once you apply it, you see the changed results, and that's when you really start elevating. Do I like this? Do I not like this? Does this make me feel good? Does this make me feel bad? And KT talked about it, and I know Nano talked about it as well. It's this idea of contrast. In Europe, we were hit with a lot of contrast. Contrast is situations, events, circumstances, people, ideas that cause you to say, I don't like this. I don't like the situation. I don't like what I heard. I don't like how I feel. This doesn't make me feel good. And normally we say, wow, this is a terrible situation. This is horrible. Why is this happening to me? When you start really learning this information and studying what contrast is, you realize that 2 things. Number 1, everything is good. Everything is good. Why? Number 2, because we can change our perception on any situation. Every situation for me is good. I was at dinner yesterday and I was asked, do you ever get mad? Do you ever get really angry? Are you always this calm? Are you always, this kind of chill? And the answer is no. Like, I'm human. Of course my energy changes. Of course my energy fluctuates. But I understand that if something happens that I don't like, that doesn't make me feel good, it is a good thing. It allows me to define what I do want. Again, contrast is good because you can change your perception on the situation. You can observe it and say, this doesn't make me feel good, but I know. And KT talked about this on CD9, but I know everything works out to my advantage in the end. This is allowing me to define what I want. So contrast is good. Continue to study contrast. It's very, very prevalent in this book. Abraham talks about contrast very, very well and the benefits of it. And KT says as well, it is only when you are experiencing contrast, when you are experiencing something that you do not like, it is then and only then when you can redefine what you want. So, for example, how does this apply to a real life situation? If you follow me on social media, every time I fly commercial, I always post, need a jet. I'm going down the runway and I just put, need a jet, need a jet, need a jet. I posted that maybe 10 to 12 flights, need a jet. And what did I attract? What happened next? 11 private jets came next. And the next post was, got the jet. So I do apply this information in real life situations. right? Need a jet, need a jet, need a jet. And that's contrast. I don't like this. I don't like flying commercial. I don't like flying with people. I don't like waiting in lines. I don't like security. That's good. It allows me to define what I do want. I want to fly private. I don't want to see people. I want to fly when I want, leave when I want, no security, right? That's a perfect example of contrast when you experience something you don't want and it allows you to define what you do want. So that works. The information works. That's a perfect example of where it was applied and how it came to fruition.